no evidence suggests a limitation on humanity's potential, and countless scientists, politicians, and philosophers have worked towards these lofty endeavors.
There's always a war going on. War is the world's favorite spectator sport.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 things that the world has yet to accomplish. For this list, we'll be looking at accomplishments that may lie in our future, but have not yet been obtained by the human race. Some accomplishments may not have made much headway beyond science fiction, while others will likely produce existing results just around the corner.
It's a time machine, Napoleon. We bought it online.
You're right.
Number 10, make teleportation possible.
Well, beam me up, Slappy.
Teleportation has been ever present throughout pop culture, largely because the idea of being relocated in an instant is so deviously tantalizing.
Ready to beam up, Jim?
Energizing.
What if family vacations no longer required travel time? What if rush hour ceased to exist? So many headaches could instantly disappear. Professor Michio Kaku believes this phenomenon doesn't break any laws of physics and therefore can be achieved one day.
Now, Einstein said this is ridiculous because nothing can go faster than the speed of light.
The most likely vehicle for such an accomplishment is the physical phenomenon known as quantum entanglement. Do not hold your breath for commercialized, affordable, or safe teleportation anywhere in the near future, however. Number 9, prove the existence of aliens. Writer Arthur C. Clarke stated that, quote, "Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying," end quote.
The Greeks.
UFO sightings, exploration, and speculation have all perpetuated the belief in life beyond our planet, and we're surely on a trajectory to answer this question. In particular, astronomer Frank Drake's famous equation estimating the likelihood of alien life suggested hundreds of thousands of planets that are theoretically inhabitable.
I knew exactly what to predict, and each spectrum took about an hour to take.
Much of science fiction has gone beyond the idea of humanoid travelers, and many narratives act as a vessel of which humankind can hold a mirror up to our own nature. Beyond this, how will we respond to alien life if we discover it? Number 8, reanimation. Some of us may avoid taxes in life, but no one has yet to evade death. Philosophers and scientists alike have explored this phenomenon, particularly the finality of it.
Stage 3. Reanimation beginning.
The most famous cultural depiction of reanimation is undoubtedly Frankenstein, when parts of the deceased are used to form a living human body, which is then reanimated and subsequently discovered to not be fit amongst the living once again.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
With this endeavor in particular, the question can be asked whether it's not only possible to reanimate the dead, but also if it's right to reanimate the dead. In 2011, a man was revived after 96 minutes without a heartbeat, but this hardly taps into the frightening marvel of reanimation in its fullest sense.
You know, I try to fit in a F-line sesh at least once a week.
2, 1, hit him.
Oh, wow.
Number 7, prove God's existence or non-existence.
Please, God in heaven, please, God, oh Lord, hear my prayers. Yes! You, God, not today, bitch!
Humankind has questioned the existence of an omnipotent entity for thousands of years. Various religions suggest the existence of one or more gods, and no clear evidence has been presented that proves otherwise.
I'm God.
Bingo! Yahtzee! Is that your final answer? Our survey says God! Bing, 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 bing.
While science and philosophy both help explore this possibility, the latter has perhaps made the most headway. Aside from fears of the unknown, how did our universe come into existence? Does our consciousness suggest an intelligent design?
No one created the universe, and no one directs our fate.
If history has shown us anything, it's that this question will continue to be asked again and again. Terrifying, overwhelming, and unrelenting, it's a query most will examine at some point in their lives.
So, do you know what I'm gonna do before I do it?
Yes.
What if I do something different?
Then I don't know that.
Number 6, true immortality.
Every morning I wake up without a scratch on me, not a dent in the fender. I am an immortal.
Continuing with the trend of death, it's an ailment that none have avoided throughout history. This hasn't stopped lore from permeating every culture.
This is what I offer you, immortality.
The Holy Grail and the Fountain of Youth most notably have examined the notion of immortality and the concept of never aging. Science has undoubtedly prolonged life expectancy by decades, But decay still remains a part of natural law.
That's right, 117 years old.
The argument can be made that some have achieved immortality through great acts that will always be remembered. But in the foreseeable future, each of us should expect to knock on death's door at some point. Number 5. Live on another planet, interstellar travel.
Better go get your things back, Billy. Expedition leaves first thing in the morning.
Where are we going?
Very far away. A place called Earth.
The colonization of another planet has been in the works for several decades. While it currently exists solely in science fiction, the best and brightest may make this a reality in the foreseeable future. Most notably, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has a 4-step process to colonize Mars before the end of the century. Even more tantalizing is the idea of interstellar travel between planetary systems. Since what's considered to be the closest habitable planet is at least 4.37 light years away, traditional space travel is probably out of the question.
Where y'all off to? Up or down?
We're going home. We've just spent 3 months calibrating the new antenna at Chilenka.
Sadly, there's also a good chance that wormhole travel is also not feasible, but nothing has been ruled out just yet.
Where am I?
Cooper Station. Currently orbiting Saturn.
Number 4, discover the cure to HIV and AIDS.
Fact. Andrew Beckett is dying.
Moving back to reality, the human immunodeficiency virus has taken the lives of more than 30 million people. Gaining notoriety in the 1980s and 90s, prevention of the virus and impediment of its progress has been the most notable accomplishment since.
You know, you're sitting there like, man, how could this happen to me?
In 2007, the now infamous Berlin patient, Timothy Brown, was functionally cured of HIV, leading scientists to question this series of events for years following, as it's unlikely that this could be performed in other HIV patients because Brown's was an unusual case.
I got his cells, and that made me resistant to HIV.
In 2013, a Mississippi baby was supposedly cured, but has since relapsed. We can only hope that the countless man-hours and dollars spent on research and treatment will yield future results like Timothy Brown's, and that the 2016 reports that the virus had become undetectable in the blood of a British man will lead to a cure that's applicable to all.
So frankly, we're surprised you're even alive.
Number 3, time travel.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
This is perhaps the mother of all science fiction phenomena, and countless movies, TV shows, and books have explored every possibility surrounding the concept. Einstein's theory of relativity has proven that, through time dilation, one-way time travel into the future is possible. But it has also suggested that traveling back in time would not be possible.
Okay, turn it on.
To do this would require moving faster than light, although other theories that include wormholes may suggest different ways to achieve this. Incidentally, the International Space Station moves through time 0.00000014% slower than on Earth, which explains the perpetual youth those astronauts always seem to have.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Say bye-bye, Grandpa. Bye-bye, Grandpa. Okay.
Number 2, achieve world peace. Is world peace possible? A look back throughout history would suggest that the answer is no.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Humankind has a penchant for murder, conflict, and violence since the beginning of time, and the elimination of wars does not seem likely in the near future.
Well, everybody knows war is hell. Remember, you heard it here last.
Plato argues that either philosophers must become kings, or kings must become philosophers to overcome our troubled state. And there are many peaceful societies after which civilization as a whole could model itself. Hunger, disease, and poverty are just a few drastic epidemics that must be overcome to achieve world peace. And our leaders must strive for the good of the world, not just their specific countries as well.
I was against the war in Iraq, just so you put it out.
The record shows otherwise,
the record
but why
does not show
why
that.
is your judgment
The record shows that I'm right.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
We have found for each of 139 countries and 50 states that there is some mix that allows that country or state to be powered 100% by renewable energy for all purposes in 2050.
Still think the water launch was a good idea?
Yes. I chose this location because the crust is thin here. The downside is there's lots of seismic activity.
4,000 feet.
Hey, how deep's the drop-off here? Here's a bottomless pit, baby. 2.5 miles straight down.
Number 1, discover the cure to cancer.
I have cancer, Mary. I have about 2 months. I have no time.
Cancer is currently the second leading cause of death in the United States and one of the leading causes of death in the world, despite hundreds of billions spent on research. About 8 million people die from cancer every year, and most of us have been affected personally by this dreadful disease.
The cancer is not responding to the chemo. As you can see, the tumor is continuing to grow here along the nerve.
Thankfully, no entry on our list has experienced progress quite like this. The UK Cancer Research Centre believes that UK cancer survival rates have doubled in the last 40 years, with roughly 50% of victims surviving for 10 or more years after diagnosis.
Walt, your tumor has shrunk by 80%.
Wow. Across the world, humanity continues to race, research, and fight for the cure, with each generation making noticeable headway against this universal group of diseases.
As Mark mentioned, now we're targeting only the bad cells, and this can really, it's a game changer.
Do you agree with our list? What do you think are the greatest accomplishments humanity has yet to make?
I bet a lot of people pray to you, huh?
Yes, but there are so many asking so much. After a while, you just sort of tune it out.
For more trailblazing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Reanimation complete.